So yesterday I talked about having some pu'erh, and I've decided to do that this morning and record it. I've just gotten a new cake of V93 Tocha, and I have it right here. This might be a little bit much. My first picking off of the cake is always a little bigger and messier than I like it to be, because you always have to dig the pick into the entire cake and bust off a big chunk of it. So this may end up being a little bit strong for me, but regardless, I'm going to enjoy it. I've got, this time it's near boiling. It's cooled off a little bit since I sat down, but that should be hot enough for some pu'erh. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into the gaiwan, and we're going to give it a rinse. I'm going to give this a pretty short rinse, because there's a whole lot of broken leaves in here from my mangling of the cake. So just gonna take that and dump it directly into the tray. You can see already how dark it is. I mean, that was all of 3 seconds. So now that that's done, I'm going to let it sit for just a second and steam the leaves. Smell the lid while I'm at it. It smells, this particular pu'erh is very chocolatey. It's dark chocolate without the bitterness of dark chocolate. It's just like that pure, like, chocolatey component. I have no idea how they do this, but it comes out amazing every time. The light's not very good in here, but you can see how it's still in pretty big, still chunky as it usually is until the second or third steeping. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a proper steep this time. I'm going to give this 10 seconds. It's going to be pretty short. Okay, that's about 10 seconds. Take this and pour it off. Okay. You can see already after 10 seconds, this has come out. I'm pointing this pretty much directly at the sunlight on the floor here. This is damn near impenetrable. It's very dark. It's a little darker in the video than it is in real life, but it's almost like a ruby red. It's quite dark. So we're going to pour it out. This is going to be very deep, and the second steeping is going to be even darker than this. I'll try and get a picture of it. But for pu'erhs, like I said in the other video, this is the way to brew a pu'erh, I think. The only thing you really have to be careful of is that this gets very, very hot. This particular gaiwan it's got a pretty big lip on it. It's pretty grippable. Some people will actually they'll pour like that, which is not a technique that I've ever mastered. It does keep your fingers cooler, but I don't want to drop my teaware. So I feel like this is still a pretty reliable pour. So for this one, I used a pretty big aperture for this to pour this out, and I didn't get nearly as much as I did with the big red robe, amazingly, because usually I've mangled this enough that it comes out in a lot of, like, small broken leaves, but I really didn't pour off too much. I didn't even get too much in the filter. So this should be pretty good. I hope you enjoy. I will definitely be enjoying it.